Speaking of President's Day,
Yeah.
did you know that Trump called Nancy?
Nancy who?
Pelosi.
Pelosi? Oh, what do you call her?
Oh, he called her up and he says, Nancy, this is Owen.
Owen who?
Vote for two, Nancy.
Okay, old dad jokes. I love it. I love it. Way to go, Paul. All right, this morning we have the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team back in with us. They've been here before. We have Daniel and the Paranormals. Here they are. You guys could go on tour as Daniel and the Paranormals.
I didn't think of that.
You know?
We're gonna have to rebrand.
You grab the mic, start singing like Eddie and the Cruisers, and they'll be in the back like this.
Because God only knows they don't need me dancing. Not at all.
It's not.
No.
Is it not a good
No.
We don't even sing either.
thing?
Sounds like
That bad. I mean, I've got some shower vocals.
Oh yeah, I do too. Actually,
Yeah, we know.
let me tell you something. I used to be a pretty mean karaoke singer back in the day.
I've done that once. People paid me to stop.
So how you guys been? You doing okay?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I mean, it's Monday. 8:30. 8:30 in the morning. We're exhausted, but no, we're doing well.
Anything like the last time you were here? Well, first of all, let's tell everybody who you are. You're the Connecticut Paranormal Connecticut Paranormal
Good morning,
Research
Mike.
Team. Good morning. I'm only about an eighth into my coffee, so give us an idea. Well, first of all, you have Daniel Peer, Christine Peer, and
Kim Shalecki
Kim Shalecki with a C.
with a C.
With a C. Give us an idea of what you do.
Cheer up. I'm just the face.
You're just the pretty face of the whole thing, right? All right.
Dan and the Paranormals. I don't have to
Dan
talk.
and the Paranormals.
No, so we actually do investigate into possible paranormal situations within commercial locations and residential homes to rule out whether or not they actually have a haunting.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this personally over 34 years, but I've been the director of the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team now for 21 years.
So the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team is what? Consists of what? What's the makeup of it? Is it you guys, your organization, or is it multiple organizations together?
No, it's a single organization. I'm trying to think of how many people we have on our team now. We've downsized a little bit because I used to have 16.
Yeah.
So I think
And
we're
we used
down
to
to
do
Seven, I
two
think.
investigations a night.
Oh, wait a minute. No, 9. We're up
9.
to
Yeah, so
9
we're
now.
up to 9. 9 people on the team, and obviously the diversity between all of
Right.
us. And we have vice president of insurance companies. I used to have a doctor on the team for a while, and then he ended up relocating. We had a neurosurgeon on the team, but
Psychologists.
psychologists. Yeah, so we've
Many
got
different backgrounds.
which helps us out when it comes. And we actually have a certified veterinarian on our team, which helps us we deal with how animals are affected by hauntings,
Gotcha.
which is
Wow.
quite common because
I
a lot of
would-
people don't realize how it traumatizes an animal.
I would think that animals are actually more sensitive
Mhm.
to it. Why would that be? Why would animals, just because of their senses, or
Their
In general?
hearing is obviously a lot more heightened than the human ears, and then depending on the type of animal, depending on the vision that they can
Oh.
see a lot different than what we can.
We actually did a presentation on that a few years ago. It was the expo at Kittery.
all right?
Was it not a cat?
Well, one of our case studies was about a cat in Rhode Island in a nursing home. You ever heard the stories about the cats who go into a person's home
And then
or a
they-
person's room when they're close to death?
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
because of the ketones or whatever that's released
that
from
the
the body.
animals
Then the
can
cats
smell.
can smell it and sense it, and that's how they know to go.
Wow. So if I have a cat coming close to smell me, it's time to hit the road.
Either that or get the tuna fish out of you.
Yeah. Paul's going paws up.
See, I don't deal with cats. I don't like cats. I could take a dog any day and fact, I'd rather feed a horse for 20 years straight and stay poor than actually deal with one cat in my house.
I know with cats, so they can sense when you're not just near death, but just sick. And if they can sense a part of your body, and sometimes they'll even go over and they'll just lay over that part of your body, because the
Yeah.
Egyptians always believed that the way a cat purrs will actually
vibration. Yeah.
could actually heal you.
Mm.
So anyway, you remember those days?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cleo used to come over all the time.
Cleopatra. Oh my God. Where are we going with this morning?
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know.
It's Monday. Like we said, we wing it.
I would love to get over and investigate those tombs in Egypt. That'd be amazing.
That would be fun.
I would just be glad to get anywhere overseas. I've never been.
Yeah.
I mean, we investigate, all over the United States, but we were actually just talking to a bunch of people in the UK, and they said, "Hey, come on over, and we'll get you into some places."
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of getting passports and getting rid of COVID.
Yeah.
And then getting on with life.
Let's see. Bert Sorrell is in the group, and he just said, Mike, we had a guy named Ed Bird and his team come to Sorrell's a few years back. We have some activity there, and they heard voices.
I know Ed very well,
Do ya?
actually. Yes, I
Okay.
do. He actually got us into Cedar Crest Hospital.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued by what you guys do. I'm not even afraid. Not even a bit.
You want to join the team?
Huh?
You want to join the team?
I would love to. I'll tell you, my whole house will come. I'm telling you, they absolutely will. I know, and this is probably a joke, for you guys that are in the business, but it's like if I sat here and said, "Yeah, I love it. I watch Ghost Hunters on Travel Channel all the time," you're probably like, "That's not what it's like, dummy."
Well, for those TV shows, they got about a week at the location. We only get about a few hours. I did it again. Look
Right.
at watch it slipped over. We only get about a few hours.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a little, I'd say a little different than what the TV shows. They show the most exciting parts.
Yeah.
They don't show the part that you're sitting in a room
Ready to fall asleep because you've been sitting there for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
looking and begging for something to play with, blinking lights. Please turn on 3 lights. It's not as glamorous as they all make it out to be, but
We're actually going to go ahead and share some videos. So if you're watching on the YouTube stream, Facebook stream, you'll be able to watch the videos. I've got a few loaded up, and it's actually a work in progress as well with me trying to figure this stuff out. But last time you were here, we played a whole bunch of EVPs.
Yeah.
That you guys had sent over. Like for example, I'll play one right on now. This is the one that freaked me out, I think, the most. Here, listen to this. That was the I Want My Mommy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the I Want My Mommy. So, and we actually, we have like a video.
Yes.
Nothing coming out of that?
Not right now. You listen
Yeah,
to
a
it.
lot of
I'll listen to
a lot of my
No.
kids.
Just make something up.
it. Oh, look, I'm doing something. There we go.
So let's bring in this young lady, Kim.
Yes.
What is it now? What do you do with the team? What brings you here today?
Well, I've been with the team for about a little over 6 years now. So I'm one of the investigators, part of the team. I'm still learning as I go too. I mean, there's a lot to learn, as you're going through
sure.
this. So Christine and I, conference quite a bit, about the locations. I do a lot of research to try to find out the history, because the history of a location is what really fascinates me, and to try to figure out who had been in that location prior that might correspond with what we actually catch, like on the EVPs.
Got it.
Yeah,
So-
because we validate whether there was actual deaths at the location.
Right.
So we look into all of that. Well, what could be possibly causing this location to be haunted? What
Mhm.
was it before? So I mean, you're digging back into like major archives going back to before it was even a house. or the building was there.
And we'll even try to find out where these people, where the families
Right.
were even buried, even afterwards.
Find
to
the
try to
burial
find
plots and
markers.
stuff.
Yeah. Now, do you find that there are times that you walk into a place, do an investigation, and then just by the time you walk out, you look at the people that either own the property or that gave you access and go, got nothing.
Oh yeah.
You're
Yeah.
nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah.
Well, we never say you're nuts.
No.
Then don't put me on the damn team.
I mean, we've been called nuts plenty of times, but
Yeah, sometimes, and honestly, sometimes we have got, you got nothing?
Yeah.
Really? You guys are nuts, because this place is active. Like, we get called nuts, which is maybe right. We are kind of crazy.
Christine, you ever look at Daniel and go, Daniel, kick that thing over, make it look like something. No.
I mean, I'll bet there's a lot of people who don't believe in this, what you're
Oh, yeah.
doing. Oh,
We
yeah.
run into a lot of situations where it's one of the family members in the house is like deathly afraid, but yet their significant other thinks they're nuts.
Mhm.
And we've gone into, they bring us in, we set everything up, and then all of a sudden the spouse comes home and what is going on? And they're all upset. And, we're trying to explain to them, well, we're trying to verify whether or not your wife really does think that something's going on. And this way it'll help you. And then they kind of, oh, all right. And then as soon as something happens, they're like, oh my God, I should have believed her the first time.
There's
Sometimes it's
go ahead.
therapeutic. Sometimes it's more therapeutic for a family because, it could cause just kind of
Peace
a
of mind.
divide. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could cause a divide and be able to, one, not disprove, but to kind of show, hey, this could happen, the possibilities of why they're experiencing this. But not only that, it also kind of leads more of a, which I don't like saying the word, but more of a therapeutic aspect of it because it's more of an open dialogue. Now, hey, we have a team here, the husband, or I'm just saying husband, wife, and everything, whoever's negative about it, it gives them a little bit more of an aspect to ask more questions, be more understanding. And then even if there's no haunting involved, the couple may feel more inclined to be understanding to each other by the time we walk out the door.
Right.
So,
And the
kind of weird
fighting,
when
the
you think about
fighting
it.
with the family
Yeah.
is, they're like yelling at the kids, thinking the kids are the ones moving,
So,
moving stuff around the house. And the kids are like, I didn't move it. And they
Yeah.
don't believe them. And, and then not the constant fighting in the house is building up the activity and making things intensify.
Years ago, I had an apartment, and this is when my kids were smaller, and I had small, kid toys.
Yep.
And I noticed one day that, well, more than one, but a couple times they were moved around, from one place to another. And they'd ask the kid, nope, nope, nope. And after a while, all right, well, you know what? They probably haven't, right? So actually, I saw this. It was like a red rubber ball. It was kind of like like the kind you play kickball with.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was no breeze or anything in the room. All of a sudden, it just rolled. It just rolled. So I started calling it Joey. I figured, okay, must be a kid or something like that because there were just nothing but toys. And then one day there were things that were just knocked over. And it could have been the kids or anything, but they said, no, 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 no. And I told Joey, time out. Nothing ever happened again. It's like whatever it was listened.
Right.
Have you ever just talked to one of these entities and okay.
I'm giving you that.
And give them a command, and next
Oh,
thing you know,
yeah.
they're gone. Or
It's funny you call him Joey. We had a spirit at my parents' house. We called him Frank. All right, and we believe he came in. My parents were avid collectors of old fire department. I guess the words memorabilia. Old Scott packs, old whatever it was. They had it. And they had a glass case, and where that glass case was, ironically, was where I lived. This is gonna sound really bad, but in the basement of my parents' house for a while. And I decided to start laying down a tile work because we had just another concrete floor down there. And me and my brother were just talking about stuff that's happened in the house. and we had a gun safe, and the gun safe in the room, we're laying down the last bits of tile, and all of a sudden you hear bang, and we're like, what the hell is that? But there was nothing else in this because I'm laying down tile. The entire room is empty other than this gun safe in the small little cubby area. And what we figured out is that this metal bracket in that gun safe lifted, turned sideways, and slammed down. All right. Now, as this happens, me and my brother know exactly what happened to it. We didn't even have to debunk it for another couple of minutes. My brother, I mean, no hesitation. He's got that Dennis Leary personality. He turns around and goes, "Damn it, Fred, get back in the garage."
And he listened.
And he listened. We haven't.
Nice.
We moved all that stuff into the garage to put all the tiling down, and ever since then we haven't heard from him.
I use it as a benefit to open doors. Hey, could you, my hands are full. Can you turn the lights on? Can you open the doors?
It's SNSN Internet Radio. What we have today, of course, is the folks from the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. We have Daniel, Christine, and Kim, 3 of the members of the organization. We are broadcasting live on our own stream, plus YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And if you are watching this, we ask you to please share it. And because if you're watching it, it's quite possible that some of your friends or relatives may enjoy, hearing about this type of information as well. So it's easy. Just click share. And we also ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go to SNSN Radio, and that's it. Daniel, you have a very interesting piece of equipment there you brought with you today. Can you describe what it is and what it does?
So, it's called our SLS camera. Let's see if I can remember. I believe it's short term for static light sensor. And what this is that, ironically, I mean, if people can see this, your standard Xbox Kinect system. What this is just a mobile version of it, and it works just like the Xbox system. And if anybody's seen like the Paranormal Activity movies, they based I believe Paranormal Activity 4 off part of this. And what this actually does is that it puts out a invisible laser grid because it's IR lights. And basically what it uses is
IR being infrared.
Yes.
Yep.
And what it does is it maps out the human body. The Kinect system is made to recognize the human body, frame it in a skeleton structure, and then use it to recognize motion, face recognition, stuff like that. So we actually use this to try and capture spirits that are starting to manifest themselves. Because if they're able to build a mass, if they're able to build enough energy and build a mass and manifest, we should, in theory, be able to not only recognize them, see them with our human eye, but in the dark, we should be able to map them out as well. So it gives us just another ability to visualize and capture evidence.
And is that one of the videos that I have here? Is that the one with the?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I'm going to play that.
Yeah, and it actually,
and the squeaky sound.
yeah, we kind of had to blurp out because one of the
got excited. Let's
one
just
of
say
the
got
investigators
excited.
was with us. Was like, oh, okay, you threw a little bad word in there, so we kind of tweaked it out with a little squeak.
I think this is the one. Let me see what happens here, because I'm still.
Oh, that one is
No.
the doesn't look.
Which one do I want? This one?
Is it that one?
Oh, we're gonna find out.
Yes, looks like that one.
Something in the corner.
Yep.
What the hell is that? Right in the
Well, let's start it all over again. Here we go.
there's something
That's just
that-
freaking
In the chair.
Yeah.
No, it's because of
Oh, I can't see it.
the Wi-Fi is right there.
Oh,
so
there it
I'll
is.
show
It actually is trying to grab the dog.
No, but what that over there? Yeah, there is something in the corner. What the hell is
It's
that?
like, I don't think we can air that
Right in
one.
the chair.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a second ago. Now there's something free floating over there.
Free
Right.
footing, like walking.
Like right
Yeah,
by
I'll
the-
show you. I got this on.
So, no, what was actually happening there?
We can let Kim describe that one because this was a very traumatic experience
I
for
would
Kim.
say traumatic. It was definitely
It was caring.
it was my first time. I've never been touched before, and I was actually touched.
I'm going to
this
play it one more
location.
time.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it on full screen. Go ahead.
There's
So
something.
this is actually at the
Oh.
Hinsdale Dandy House in Hinsdale, New York. So
that
that is me sitting in the chair right there. I'm the one grabbing the dog and passing it
It
on to
actually
another
is
team
trying to grab
member.
the dog.
Big dog. How about the neck?
Fake
There's
dog.
something in the corner. What the hell
So
is
there's
that?
a small room that's
Right in the
behind me.
chair.
Right behind me is a
What did
bed,
I do a
and then
second
in the
ago? Now
back
there's something
corner
free-floating
there's a
over there.
chair.
Right.
Like
We
walking?
actually
Like,
Yeah,
caught
I'll show you.
on
I got
the
this on.
SLS system a small skeletal figure. There was nobody back there. No one was behind me, but about the size of a child.
Hmm.
And so they caught it actually on the chair. It would go up to the top of the chair, back down. And at one point, it actually went behind me. And so as I'm sitting there, I actually, now, do you have children?
Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you ever have that
Yes, I
feeling
think I
like when
do.
they were really young, where they come up behind you and just surprise you and give you a hug?
Sure, sure.
That's what I felt sitting in that chair. And it took me a little bit to even figure out what was going, because I'd never been touched before by anything. So
Either that or it was a creepy midget.
that is a possibility. You never know. But it was just that feeling of two little arms coming back.
All bets
around
are off,
me.
Kim. You never know.
Right,
Right?
It is true. So that's what had happened there. I mean, it was a very, very intense weekend. We were only there like one night, unfortunately, at that time. But I mean, it was definitely, it definitely changed how I viewed things, because you hear stories of other people get in touch. Like I've talked to Christine and Dan and other team members about things, but I've never, and I've had experiences since I was a kid, but I've never been touched before. And that was, it was, I lost it. I mean,
You can tell just by now by watching you, your
Yeah.
expression.
And I cry at, I'm one of those, I'm a mush. I cry at commercials and everything, but like
I
when
cried at The Price is Right. Top that.
You went $1 over.
No, here's the quick story. This is exactly what happened. I was in my 20s and I'm sitting there watching. I came home for lunch and I was married back then, right? So I had emotion. So I'm sitting at the, in the chair in front of the TV, and of course Bob Barker is on. This is way back then.
Oh yeah.
He's on The Price is Right, and this lady comes up and she wins both showcases. You know how if you get less than $100, you win both showcases? Well, she won. She's like 70, 80 years old and wins. It's kind of like everybody that wins the lotto, right?
Yeah.
Why haven't you won the lotto yet, Paul? You're in your 70s.
I don't know.
Jeez. But all of a sudden, and you know how like when The Price is Right, when you win something big, usually your family would rush the stage.
Yeah.
Nobody rushed the stage. And she was like,
Aw.
and Bob goes, well, where's all your family? And she goes, they're all dead. That's not even, that's the truth.
horrible.
My wife came in and here I am sobbing for this old lady, which was tape delayed probably a month ago. And I'm sitting here going, what happened? I said, they're all dead. So
What's the idea of reflective clothes? That's so you can see you when the video. I noticed that you had reflective clothes on in that video.
So that's actually the infrared.
Yeah.
So-
So I wasn't wearing anything reflective. It's just how the light was just hitting my
Oh,
sweat.
so
I think
it
I
was
was
the
wearing a
X
gray
and all that other
sweatshirt.
stuff was actually.
Yeah. So what this does is doesn't just map the skeleton. It actually maps depth. So what it'll actually show is kind of like not exactly like, but kind of like what thermal shows you. So it shows you heat signatures instead of heat signature in color. It's showing you the depth for perception of the item in front of you. That's why it's mapped
Yeah, 'cause
out.
that was mapped on an
Yeah.
X and okay.
So we do ask you to like and share. Please share the video so more people can take advantage and get some knowledge from these folks in the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. I got a question from one of the online viewers. Do you go into an investigation with the mindset to prove or disprove the paranormal activity? That's the idea of it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the idea. They're very rarely does somebody ever call us and say, hey, listen, nothing's going on in my house. we like you guys to come over, have some tea and spaghetti. Maybe I'll cook some pancakes in the morning. We'll all just chill out for 12 hours.
See, now that's a big difference too between the TV shows
Mhm.
and what you guys do. You said it earlier. The TV shows, they're in there a week, maybe longer.
Yeah.
You
We're
know,
in
you
there just for the night.
exactly.
And a big thing between us and TV shows also is that we don't, lack of better terms here, I'm not going anywhere with it, but we don't kick the owners out. We don't say, hey, leave us, give us the keys. We'll see you in about 6 to 12 hours. Go get a hotel room. We actually have the owners of the location, the people who are experiencing these, these paranormal experiences in theory, we have them there. Think of it this way.
And even
You know,
participate.
Yep. If our, if we come into a location, you don't know me, there's a chance that you might not even talk to me all night, but you've been talking to, the family's kids, or you've been
Right.
talking to
They're
the family's
comfortable with
father.
them.
Makes sense.
Yep. And that way we kind of, again, lack of better terms, best bait we have is
Got
the
it,
people
yeah.
who are experiencing these episodes, we'll say.
Wow.
Yeah, so we just literally will tell the families, I want you to go about your everyday business like you normally would and kind of pretend we're not here.
We've had an instance, and this is something we've talked about all the time still. We were brought to a location where the daughter and her son were experiencing these things. The whole family lived together, and we were doing EVP sessions all night. Nothing. I mean, we'd get stuff, but it sounded like absolutely nothing to us. We started playing those recordings back, and the lady's like, "That's Bosnian." What are you talking about, Bosnian? Well, here you go. Light bulb.
You mean the
Family is from
language?
Bosnia.
They
Yep.
were from Bosnia.
Yeah,
The
okay.
family
Yep.
was.
Yep. So we had it where at first they didn't want to. We asked them, and they
It's
were
a
like, "No,
totally
we don't want to
different
investigate
religion.
with them." So as soon as they started hearing Bosnian, they actually were like, "Can we take it back? We want to investigate with you." Well, we were actually getting responses in Bosnian through our devices, and they were actually able to get the names of their relatives who just passed away, and their relatives actually were warning them about a family member that was looking for them.
Wow.
And we found out a few months later that family member showed up at their front door.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then we're not going to get into details, but there was police involvement after that.
Yeah.
But they're like, if you didn't tell us, we would have never been prepared. So it was something that was just really weird. And even to this day, that was probably one of the most intense investigations because of not just what happened with us being there, but what happened with that family.
Have you ever gone into? Oh, you're gonna.
I don't remember.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
talk too
I thought you were
much.
gonna say something. No, I thought you were gonna say something.
No.
Did you have a comment on that? Or? Okay. All right. Paul, how about you? Were you there? Who knows? Oh God. Have you ever gone into a home?
My eyes are leaking.
Are you crying?
I'm so emotional.
Mine's are sweating. I ain't crying, they're sweating.
I'm the one that's supposed to cry.
No,
Well, I told you what happens with me.
I don't.
Ah.
I
Price
can't
is
even
right.
watch Animal
I know.
Planet.
I can't watch Sarah McLaughlin
No,
commercials.
that's horrible. It's so traumatic.
I can be watching a sitcom and Sarah McLaughlin comes on, rules my whole freaking day. You
Yeah,
know?
for 10 cents a day.
In the arms of you. Christ. Have you ever gone into a home with the family where actually the family is more creepy than the ghosts?
Be careful.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, you guys are setting up and stuff like that. It's 2:00 in the morning. The guy comes out in a smoking jacket. He goes with a pipe. Hey, girl. Glad you could stay.
Yeah. No, we've as you imagine, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own personality, their own quirks. We've ran into situations just like what you're talking about.
Mhm.
And I mean, as you imagine, we've ran into anything and everything. It's all people, all walks of life. I'm trying to remain professional here, but you're seeing my eye glances left and right, and I think you understand where I'm coming from.
We have a question from a viewer on YouTube. Stan says, "Good morning. I have a couple of questions. First, are there any animal spirits or ghosts?"
Absolutely. A matter of fact, one of the photos I sent you is the apparition of a horse.
That's not the one we just played, was it?
No, it's a still photo. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if you can pull those up though.
But if you
No.
don't have it, we actually have it on our website.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And the other question is, are there any animal spirit? Okay, like cats or dogs. Yeah, this is Stan still. Is that the other question, Stan? Oh, you put it twice. The second question didn't come through, Stan. I don't know if you want to type it again.
Oh, Kim, you had right here in this town.
In Jewett City,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Right
used
at
to
that
live-
building right there.
I used to live a couple buildings down, and it used to be an old boarding house, and there's actually an apparition of a cat. And this was before I even joined the team. This was over 20 years ago that I lived there. And we had a mirror at the end of the hallway, and I walking down the hallway, like heading to the kitchen or something. In the mirror behind me, I would see a cat cross the hallway going into one of the bedrooms.
Right on Main Street here.
Right on Main Street, right behind
Are
Jason.
you a Jewett City girl?
No, I moved up to Connecticut in '96. That's when I came up here. But I'm around
25
the area.
years. So you're a Jewett City girl.
So Griswold, yeah. Griswold, Jewett City. I lived down
Yeah.
here for a few
Was
years.
it- was
In fact,
it-
this is where I met my husband. Was down here.
What do they
Oh,
call
okay.
us? A CT transplant?
Yeah. But I spent a lot of time in Connecticut growing up. I grew up in Rhode Island, but I have
Yep.
family in Franklin. So, and that's where I had most of my experiences growing up, was in my grandparents'
Got it.
house.
I noticed you're the only one wearing a necklace. Is that for protection?
From
No.
us.
No, this
Or the
is-
creepy people, hey girl.
No, I do. I wear a lot of like gems and stones and stuff.
Okay.
Not necessarily for anything in particular. It's just,
Okay.
I
No, I
love it.
didn't know. I mean, sometimes.
and it's black. I
Right,
love black.
yeah.
So
It's slimming, right?
Well,
Mike?
we actually, depending on the case that we're doing, kind of will depend on what we'll wear for protection for
Mhm.
ourselves.
yeah, I do have a
Um,
triquetra with an amethyst that I wear when I
Yeah.
go to locations too.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you know how you use like worry stones or prayer stones.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain necklace I'll wear whenever we go on investigations.
Silver's
Got it.
popular.
What's that?
Silver.
I love my silver.
Have you found vampires?
No.
No.
I don't know.
Well,
I am, I'm not. one
No,
of-
I wouldn't say we found or we were about to find a vampire. I think that one of the investigations we were brought into the location by a person that thought they were a vampire.
Okay.
More power to them.
Yeah.
People are people too, and everything like that. But like I said, that was a very interesting investigation.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Was his name Vlad?
We thought we
No.
were going to be human sacrifices, actually.
But I gotta say this: even though you run into some interesting characters,
yeah.
you learn a lot about stuff you don't know. Like we learned a lot about vampirism. We've learned a lot about different religions, different ethnic backgrounds. The Bosnian one, for instance, we had no clue, and they were just kind of telling us. It's interesting because again, it's kind of a way of socializing. You just like you go out to a bar, you meet people, ask questions, and everything like that. You're invited into somebody's house, and they're asking as many questions to you, and you find everybody interesting. You know,
I was just going to say, do you find that that the people, some of them that you talk to, that even seem to be like the biggest whack jobs in the world, are actually the nicest people?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and another part of that is, if they're not so nice people, do you ever have people outside as a backup just in case, or people on call just in case that somebody has bad intentions?
So we do work on a buddy system. We will normally not go into an investigation unless we have 3 team members at a time. And I know we just said buddy system, and I said 3 team members,
Right.
but at that point in time, we're all together. I mean, when it takes bare minimum 3 people to get everything set up.
Right.
It our DVR systems a beast of a job to get together. You got one person putting the cameras, tripods, and everything together. You got two other people running the wires, and then you got to get everything in and out of the cars. Which is not easy when you got a sedan.
Right.
We fixed that solution last year, or she did. She went in for an oil change and then ended up driving home with a new 4x4. And I said, "This is the third time. Cut it out."
They said my car was
So yeah,
haunted.
what we do is that we also have team members that even if they can't make it, if something goes on, they're always on call, willing to say, "Hey, listen." Either I'll drop you a phone call and say, "Hey, listen, you got to get home immediately," or they're there at the front door and say, "Hey, listen, we're a little cautious.
Right.
Can you come and back us up? Be nice. Hey, you could help us out, do the investigation as well, but also as a backup." Because like you said, most have all the best intentions in the world, and some people are questionable.
I would think you'd run across creepers from time to time.
We do a full psychological screening before we even go into the location.
Oh, but why are you here? I'm thinking if you would have really have done that, you guys would not have been here. You would have probably gone to the station in Norwich,
Well,
guy's a creep, man.
If I remember correctly, this creep here was reaching out to you via the chat room. Me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but you never actually, and like you never said I want to come on or something like that. I don't know. We just started talking.
I was just random. I thought the ladies that came on Psychic Tuesday were interesting.
Which is tomorrow, by the way.
Yep. And then what it was is I got off with you guys, and then you started talking about the paranormal, and I literally was like, me and my wife are on a paranormal team. And you were like, and you guys are now our best friends. In fact, if I remember correctly, you didn't reach out to me directly. You hit up Christine. And I was like, how the hell does he know you?
I don't know why, because I thought maybe
sometimes it's meant to be.
How did I know to contact you?
I think it's the last name.
Maybe.
That's what I thought too, because
because
I made a comment about you had posted a breakfast picture at Daybreak. So I'm like, hey, that's my favorite little diner. And then 2 seconds later, I got a message.
That was cool. Sure wasn't from him.
Facebook I am coming back.
What do you mean?
Back in the future.
You'll be back.
I'm gonna come back and haunt the shit out of you.
I'm telling you, between paranormal investigations and psychics and time travelers, man. Where the hell are we going with this place?
What was it? What was it? Sci-Fi Around the World, or what was that like that well-known radio show, Coast to Coast?
Coast to Coast AM.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right there
With George Norrie.
How do you think they got started?
On that show.
I love that show.
It was before your time.
Was I still in diapers?
Yes, probably.
So you must be talking Art Bell.
It was way back.
Yeah.
It was probably about
Even Art Bell
18 years ago.
Voice. Yeah, that was well, let's see, 18 years ago. Yeah, that was Art Bell. And then George Norrie kind of came in because Art Bell was a creeper. Art Bell was he lived out in Arizona.
I'm doing the math. I think I was 14 at the time.
He would literally go to the Philippines and find a wife. First one died. He went back to the Philippines.
Oh wow.
What if the second one died? Back to the Philippines?
I didn't know. He finally retired. And he retired from getting wives too, I think. All right, so we have some interesting things. I don't know what half of them are. Let's put it this way: I don't know what any of them are.
That's the second one you're looking at. Oh no, first one. There you go. That one is from Meriden at the. If anybody knows the Vault Club, I think it's roughly in the center of their town.
It is in the center.
Yep.
So what are we looking at? We're looking at security cams.
That's actually our DVR system.
And you hear
Oh,
that?
you ain't kidding.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing
So-
this.
Yeah, this was before Kim joined
So-
the team. I forgot all about this case, but it was intense.
This building
cool.
was so large, we ran off 2 DVR systems. And the second DVR system, we don't have the file anymore. The hard drive actually corrupted and just died on us. But this is from our other DVR system. And what we're looking at is on the left bottom corner, we're looking at the basement. The upper left corner is I believe it was the hallway leading into the kitchen. I'm looking at the upper right corner is actually facing one of the older vaults in the basement, and what they call the upstairs pool table. So think of it as a loft above the club, and they have a pool table set up with a fireplace. And what you're hearing is
That's about 10 years ago, right? So it looks like.
this is
No,
Yeah. Oh, no,
because
no.
you haven't been up here that long.
what's
Well,
the
then you
date
didn't.
say on there?
Then you didn't set the timestamp.
Probably not.
It says
So-
127:11.
2000.
Yeah, no. What it was is I could call that one's my bad on the timestamp. We were just getting used to this DVR system. So, what ended up happening was that as you can hear there is a large crash. All right. This place used to be a bank. And as you can imagine, it's called the vault. They still have the huge bank vault in there. And what ended up happening was they had a bouncer commit suicide in the front of the building. So where that sound is actually coming from is that sound you're hearing is from the audio on the second floor pool table room. All right. I wish I had the video from the main lobby area. The sound actually came from the front of the building where the bouncer committed suicide.
So let's limit. I'm just going to hit it, and then you can hear the bang.
Yep.
Oh, here it is.
So
Yeah. I mean,
You
we
can
actually
hear-
thought
yeah,
that-
it was so
that
loud.
somebody was shot. One of our team members. I'm like, what the heck?
guess
And
so.
we all went running.
It sounded like it was.
It was
And a body
four.
drop.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a body drop. It was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was,
It was
the four
almost-
of us.
Yeah.
I think it was Chris, Bruce, me, you.
The
I think
man, and it was the manager.
The manager and the co-owner. And when that happened, we
And
all
they
lost our
heard this all the
minds.
time. This was like normal for them.
Yep.
For us to actually capture it, they were so ecstatic because they wanted to rule out that they weren't crazy.
Let's hear it again. Let's hear what happens.
So as you could hear it, just like Kim said, you could hear the bang.
And then,
And
the,
then
and
the
then the
thud.
thud of his body that dropped.
And it's not even a full thud. You hear the crumple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there was nothing there.
that is freaky.
Wow, that's intense.
Wow.
All right, we are here at the Connecticut Paranormal Research Team, getting a little freaked out this morning here.
That would be a perfect example, though, of a residual haunting.
Got it. Okay.
So that's
So
like
that's like a
that's
loop,
literally a
right?
memory trapped in time of that shooting that took place inside.
So if memories can get trapped in time, and people get involved in time loops?
Absolutely.
So have you ever been in a time loop, or have you ever been in a time loop? Is
I
that where
wake up-
deja vu comes from?
I wake up every morning, roughly 5 times a week, and get on my computer, start working, get off the computer, eat dinner, go back to bed, repeat the same thing 5 days in a row. It's like Groundhog's Day.
That's what I was
almost.
gonna say. You're in a movie.
No, but yes, I've had instances of just really bad deja vu, whether it be me just walking.
We all get those. We all get those feelings that we've been there before.
Yeah, like I've seen this before.
I've had instances
We do.
where I'm seeing things through someone else, and this is really weird for me to say, just publicly. I've had instances where I've seen things through other people's other people, and then I don't think of it. I think it's just a normal dream or something like that.
Yeah.
And then a few months down the road, I'll actually see that image from my perspective, and I'll be like, "Holy crap!" For example, there was one movie we were watching. I was like, "I've seen this before. I've seen everything," and it was a new movie. It just came out, and I'm like, I can tell you where the camera is, obviously camera perspective and everything like that. I'm like, but I can tell you where everybody's standing. And then when we watch the backgrounds, the extra footage, I saw where the director was, everybody was standing on the back and everything like that. And I could pinpoint almost with, I would say, about 75-8% accuracy.
Wow.
So I've had situations like that. I mean, like you said, we've all had instances of it. Some are stronger than others.
Right.
Daryl Nadu says, if you still have the failed hard drive, I would love to try to see if I can recover the data for you.
You think Chris has it? We'll have to ask.
I'll have to ask him. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, two DVR systems and over, I think it was 14 to 16,000 square foot.
Yeah.
14 to 16,000 feet of DVR wire. It was a big location.
Daryl, I'll be calling you after 10, by the way.
Hi, Daryl.
Daryl from the Healthy Computer here in Jewett City. Let's see. I think we're caught up on questions here. Okay. So how about this? You want to just play this? Let's see what this is all about.
Yep.
Now, this is obviously just like some sound software, whether it's Adobe or is it Adobe?
It's Adobe.
Okay.
Yeah. Love that program.
And you basically just loaded up something, I'm assuming that.
Yep. So this is from the last time when we were here. We had you guys listen to a EVP. And as you can see, 3/4 of the way through, we have an EVP captured. Now, if you see that wavelength on the bottom, it tells you the frequencies. And I know, Paul, you're not able to see it right now, but you can see 3/4 of the way through, there's some low end frequencies when that EVP is captured. Yep. And as you guys have heard and we've talked about, it says go on my mind.
What is one of the most clear ones that I've heard that you have sent over?
This one still sends chills down all our spines because, as you imagine, you don't capture something this clear all the time.
This broke my heart.
Yeah.
I'm the one that they came to. They
we
called me
drove
up at
over to
10
her.
o'clock at night.
You
Kim,
gotta
we
hear
gotta
this.
come over. You gotta hear this. And it's like I had that thing on a loop. I mean, my 10-year-old daughter heard it, and even my husband, and it affected all. I mean, because and I was the one going in to actually break down the camera. So that happened as I was coming into the room.
Wow.
And so it breaks my heart that we heard it through that, but couldn't hear it audibly ourselves, because I mean, one of the things we do, one of the most important things we do is we go into a location. We want to help not only those who are living, but those who are not. We want to help whoever it is we can. That's a big reason why we do what
This
we
is
do.
at Grill 37.
Yes.
Oh, how are the appetizers?
Delicious.
Fantastic.
Everything is
Oh my
delicious.
God.
And we are not sponsored by them. We pay every time we go in there. But let me tell you, like he said, appetizers good.
The drinks are good. The food
Drinks
is
are
good.
strong. And let me tell you, if you ask any one of their employees, they will sit down with you and tell you a story.
About their experience.
It's a great location.
Did you understand that, Grill 37? This is a wonderful sponsorship opportunity. I'm looking in the camera. It's an opportunity. Buy them their swag. Put your logo on it. Stuff like that.
And we're actually due to go back there in, was it May?
Yeah, it was
May.
supposed to be in March, and that's for the how is he calling it?
Sci-Fi Con.
Yeah, I think it's Sci-Fi Con.
Sci-Fi
Sci-Fi
Con.
Cons, something like that. And that is going to be held May 1st.
As of right now.
Yes, as of right now. Last
COVID
year,
pending.
COVID kind of put a damper on it, but the first one we did a couple years ago was it went over really well.
And we got to meet up with the Connecticut Ghostbusters. We had
Yeah.
a table right next to him, so
And I got
he
to
got
live
to
out
wear
my
his
life.
proton pack.
my life dream putting on a proton pack. I turned into such a 2-year-old. I was so
Did
good.
it
More
really-
so than normal.
Did it do anything?
Yeah, it
had
made
the
noise and
sounds, and
everything.
also it had like a
Really?
subwoofer, so you felt the vibration. See, there we go, light bulb.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mark it
I
out,
was like,
man.
I had a moment right there where I was like ready to cry, but I was ready to scream like a little 2-year-old girl.
I think we have a picture of you doing that.
Oh my god, yeah, I had no face.
Hey, we have our resident time traveler in the room, Joe. Joe says, "Can you play the clip again?" Joe, what clip are we talking? Are we talking the "I Want My Mommy" clip? Is that the one?
I like Joe. I find Joe very interesting.
He is very interesting.
I don't get to catch much of the show because, as you know, I work Monday through Friday, but I have you guys on in the background when I'm not on phone calls, and I find him really. I find the information that he has is really interesting, and just his thought process is just, again, very interesting to me. It's pretty cool.
Well, Joe, they're all ghosts. He goes, "Ghost." Here we go. We'll play it again. It is so defined.
You don't find them like that. It's just that's.
That is eerie.
Just
That is
so
eerie.
It's incredibly
and
clear.
to think 16 seconds later would have never caught it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That microphone was being torn. That microphone camera were being torn down.
Yeah. So
We-
the
that's why
that
what we
kid
do
wanted
is-
us to hear him.
That why
Yeah.
what we normally do is you would think like you would start at the DVR system, start unplugging everything in the back and everything. No, what we do is we capture
Audio's
everything as
last.
far as possible, so we work our way from camera back.
Now, what was Grill 37 before it was Grill 37? I mean, there's got to be a reason why there's some activity in there.
Well, it used
It
to be the
was-
Harvest
Yep,
before
the
Grill
Harvest
37.
Restaurant.
Okay.
Before that, I believe.
It was a
It was a
residential home
residence.
for quite a while.
Yep,
Yeah,
and it was
used
a
to be
post
it was the very
office.
first post office in the
Yeah.
1800s in that town.
Wow.
Yep, a lot of history there. It was it's pretty interesting. I mean, whoever's been in there, you can see the layers of the building, with the add-ons and everything like
Yeah.
that. But the
Yeah.
main frame, the main part of the building, is just it's interesting to me. Not to mention where the porch is now, part of Grill 37, the front door is still there, and that's where
Hmm.
that's where I had one of my instances.
At the door itself.
It was at the door and the staircase. So at the door, you've got the staircase. I think it was about 6 feet from there, and I was up the staircase, and I heard a gentleman clear his throat.
Oh, that was the other video that you sent him.
I couldn't send it. It was too long.
No, the clip of the file. Didn't you?
Oh, the file upstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's the
was-
last video.
It was one of the bedrooms in the original house at Grill 37, and they now use it as one of the manager's offices. And I think was it you that was sitting on the
It was
chair?
me.
Dan was sitting on the couch that was in there, and on the desk was files. And
Oh
you
no,
s-
this was still on the chair. The files were
Was
on the
it?
couch.
Files
Yeah.
were
And-
files on the couch.
but on the other end of it.
Yeah.
On the other
And
end
you
of it,
see
yeah.
the file
On the arm.
actually spin and fly onto the floor.
Now
and
we had
no
been
one
up
was
there.
there.
We had been up there off and on all night because another team.
Yeah, we
member,
tried-
Chris
we
and I
tried
had been up
debunking it
there,
for
and those
hours.
files just were not moving.
And I didn't
at
even
all.
know what happened. I heard a thud, but I didn't know where
He
it came
couldn't
from.
see
It was
because it was pitch
pitch
dark.
black.
Yeah.
So if you want to play that one, we should
Sure.
play that one.
Joe, by the way, has a comment for you, Paul, who asks about you every
Oh,
Thursday since you don't come in anymore. You don't come in on Thursdays. He said, Paul's old enough to know all the ghosts on a first name basis.
Nice, Joe.
Well played, Joe. Well played.
Want to get him back? You say, yeah, and Joe told that joke three months in the future. Boom, and we just got it today.
At least I'll make
Sorry,
it-
Joe.
Maybe I'll make it to 2021. No, where's it? Where's it from?
2030.
2020, yeah.
2030?
2030.
9 years from now? Oh, shit, I'll be freaking
Isn't that
old.
freaky?
Oh, I need to learn more
Take it.
about this.
I'm gonna be 36 at the end of this month and everything, so it just might be me. But like, I can't believe how far it is. Like right now, like I remember when I was like, oh, 2020. I was like, oh yeah, hey, look at this. Now it's like 20. Sorry, I said 2020. I said when it was 2000. I was like, oh yeah, okay, fine. Now it's 2021. I'm like, shit.
So
Where
now-
are we right now?
This right here, this is at Grill 37, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Here we go.
Now you want to
And-
look at the end of the couch where Dan is
Yep.
sitting.
Where the timestamp is.
The right-hand corner.
I didn't say anything.
It didn't move.
Did you do the right clip?
Did you cut it off before it happened?
No.
Hold on.
I don't think
We're
it
talking about
moved.
right here,
No,
No,
on
on
the
the bottom.
couch itself,
By the timestamp.
right around there.
right around there.
There it goes.
Yeah,
You hear
you
it.
hear it.
No, it's by the timestamp where the PM says.
Yeah, but it already fell. When you hear that,
Well, I
that's
know
when the
that,
chart
yeah,
hits
but
the
that's what I'm
ground.
saying, where you gotta
But
look.
where the timestamp is where the file is. We're on the, and then you'll see it spin and fall on the floor.
Right where it says PM.
You know, I'm gonna take the banner off.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe
Oh,
that
that's
was
probably-
blocking it probably.
That's it. All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just saw it right above the M on the time stop. Watch. Right above the M.
And I heard, obviously I heard it hit the ground, but I had no clue what it was because it was pitch black in there.
Boom.
And we've been
Yeah,
in
we
and out of that
tried.
room multiple
Yeah,
times.
we
and
tried
to
everything to
recreate it and
recreate that.
everything, But no.
They've
Weren't
even
able
been
to do it.
trying after we left. They've been trying to get
Yeah.
to do it.
Well, I don't know what to say. You guys always kind of make me like have nothing to say.
So are you telling us that you're going to go home, curl up with a good blanket and sit in the corner and keep the lights on all night?
In the arms of an angel. Maybe Sarah McLachlan will show up and make me have nightmares. What else do we have here? Is
We
there-
got to get you on an investigation.
I know, it's too bad you can't pull those photos up though, huh? To show the still photo?
No. Well, it won't let me do.
Well, we have them on the
They are on
yeah,
our
the
website.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's a work in progress here. So where are you? Where's your stuff here? All right, those are videos. I'm looking at my email now.
It should be the first email. Yep.
It's called Club Bang. Had a couple of them nights.
What kind of videos are those?
I thought about that.
They could have renamed it to something.
No. There
That's
was-
why I told them, like, you can call it, the name of the place was the vault.
I was like, yeah, he'll get the joke. We're professional when we have to be.
Oh,
No, I
sure.
honestly.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Let's see if I can get this to.
Look at you're making Mike go through all this.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I don't know if I can share this. Let me see.
Sharing is caring, man.
I know, but I don't know if I can do it. If it'll actually let me do it. Let's try.
Screen sharing tip. Don't show anything you don't want to show.
No, there's that. I don't know if Chrome tab application.
Oh, cool. Hey,
I don't know if that's in there. Take a look, Paul. See if that's that picture come up in your.
I think it's a little of a delay.
Gotta find you again.
I don't see it. I'm looking at it. Nope, there it is. It's in the stream. There it is.
Yeah, the picture came.
What have I learned
Look
with
at
you
that,
guys
see?
today? It's like
See, not only do we talk about paranormal, but we help with IT support. Bill you later, Mike.
Connecticut
Billable
Paranormal
hours.
Research Team and IT support. Press 1 for Christine. Press 2 for whatever. All right, so we are able to look at this picture here. Daniel or Christine or Kim? We could describe what we're looking at.
Well, this actually is the apparition of an Arabian horse. This was a barn that was destroyed by fire, and all of the horses that were in the barn, it was an Arabian breeding farm, perished in the fire. So some new people brought the location, and they wanted to fix the barn
Before
up
you even
and
said it.
reopen it back up to boarding.
There's the head right there.
Yeah, I see it.
And they would have construction crews in there because you can see the boards are all everything needs to be gutted and torn down, and it's a cement aisleway. So when they had construction crews in there, all their tools and everything were in the aisleway, and they would have their back turned towards where all the stalls were, and they would hear hooves coming down the cement tiles, so they'd hurry up, grab their tools, and run, figuring they're going to get stampeded because there's a horse coming down the aisle. And there are clearly no horses in that barn. Everything's been completely destroyed. But you can actually see the apparition of a horse walking out of one of the
You
stalls.
definitely can see this head.
You
and
can
the
see
neck,
the head, the neck, and
Yeah.
the
body.
part of the legs.
Yeah.
And there is one bright orb that's actually in the middle of that,
Right there.
which was kind of cool.
That's
And
kinda
if
cool.
we
Kinda
probably,
cool.
well, I think if we would have taken more photos, we might have gotten a better apparition to be able
Right,
to
right.
form. But
Wow.
this was just with one shot that was taken.
Got it.
Pretty cool.
That is neat. All right, let's,
Wow.
And what was the other one that you sent? The other photo?
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry.
I'm gonna try to
Before
pull that
my-
up now too.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Anything before 10, I start to yell.
Oh, I know which one it was.
Which one did I send?
I think you sent the one from the Green Lady Cemetery.
No.
No, you
I
didn't.
don't think so. No. I'm trying to think now. That one.
Oh, I know one. It's from it's from Eastern States Penitentiary. It's the most amazing full body apparition that I was able to capture.
Oh, well, it's that again.
Yep, that's that one.
Well, let me go back and. What is it labeled? How is it labeled?
It was in that
Is it
same.
Club Bang?
It was in the very first email with that apparition of the horse photo.
Yep, it's right below it.
It was below it.
Let's see here. All right, let's go back to my email here.
I really got to rename that.
There it
file.
is.
There it is.
Every time we come on there, he's going to mention Club Bang.
All right, Club Bang. That's things at Club Bang. Yeah.
Let's see if you can remember how you pulled that over there.
I won't remember crap here. Let's see. Share screen. No, you know what I got to do? I got to open the thing up first. There we go. Oh, that's creepy. People don't even know what I'm talking about yet. Let's see. Share. Chrome tab, right? Or no, application window. There it is.
Anybody else believe that
Boom.
it's 9:30 in the morning?
There it is.
Yeah.
Where did the last hour go?
Yeah, no, we've been yakking for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Tell
this
us about this.
this was actually taken in cell block 12 at Eastern States Penitentiary at exactly 3:15 in the morning. We throughout the course of the night, we didn't capture any evidence whatsoever because it was an ice storm outside. And if anyone's been to Eastern States Penitentiary, the roof is glass.
Where's that?
It's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So with the wind and everything, we couldn't do EVPs. And it was just everything that was happening, we were able to debunk.
So worst case scenario with weather.
Yeah. So
Got it.
as the team was breaking down equipment, I decided for one last trip, I'm going down cell block 12, and I went by myself to see if I could capture anything. So I was looking through my viewfinder because I can't see because it's
Right.
pitch dark. And when I looked through the viewfinder, I saw that security guard walk out of that cell and walk to the right and head down like he was doing a spot check on the rest of the cells. When I put my camera down and looked above the camera, I could not see that with my own eye. It was just through the IR of the camera. And I'm yelling at the person to make sure that I wasn't hallucinating and that it wasn't a real person. And they never acknowledged my existence. So this was another residual type haunting where he just couldn't hear me, but I was able to capture it through the camera. And I just kept praying to myself, please, please let me take your photo. Let me take your photo.
Yeah.
And I snapped it and it was there. I watched him walk down the aisle, and about probably as soon as he got 100 feet away from me, which I'm assuming he was drawing off my energy for me to actually be able to see him, because as soon as he got 100 feet from me, he turned into just a ball of energy. So it was just a white ball, and then it vanished right in thin air.
We actually have this
And
on
I
the
have
website.
I have the photos of him disappearing into that ball of energy on the website. But you could see his little pot belly. He had a
I was just gonna say that. You can
He-
see he's got a.
yeah, and they wore and so afterwards when I went back,
Breathe in, Mike.
one of the the managers that's keeping this place open as a museum showed me a photograph of the guards, and they wore this, it was like a one piece jumpsuit looking thing, and it was kind of like a camo green almost, with a hat. They had this little hat they had. And there was a raid that happened in cell block 12, and a bunch of the inmates were killed, and he was one of them. His photo was on the wall.
Police officers. So
Wow.
inmates.
Well, not inmate, yeah, correction
Wow.
officers, correction officer. I take that back. But yeah, he even had something in his hand. I don't know if it was keys, but you could see the belt and everything on, but you could actually see through him in the photograph, which was kind of neat.
I
Not-
imagine it would have to be keys because the keys for the cells were
They
like,
were huge. I actually have
That
I have one of the keys hanging on my wall.
Yeah.
Not to sidebar, but Joe says my ink looks good. I like that, John.
Time traveler.
You know, how about like this? How about
Yeah, but now it's upside down.
yeah? Let's try this pose, Joe. Yeah, there was no ink there. Just buff. Just a bunch of. I ate too much sugar yesterday. I'm not kidding you. I am like ripping wild this morning because I did. Werther's Originals, man. That stuff goes right to your head.
I don't know how you do it. I don't like I get up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the computer and everything like that. But like you are on fire, sugar high from the moment you get on the I say on the camera, but on the microphone. I mean, I get
Yeah.
that when I broadcast, but you bring it to a whole new level, buddy.
Well, you know what it is. It's like I'm a nervous squirrel. I kind of tend to play with my nuts instead of store them. Acorns. I'm talking acorns. What do you think I'm talking? You're sick. Pervert.
And you wonder why I sent you a file called Club Bang. I remember Christine's
All
like,
right.
"Are you going to name it that?" And I said, "He'll get the joke."
Yeah, I did get the joke. What are we, Howard Stern? All of a sudden? Let's get away from that. So I think this is very interesting what you do. I love the whole premise of ghost hunting, but it's not just quote unquote ghost hunting. I mean, it could have been that maybe 30 years ago,
Right.
40 years ago, but now it's with technological developments. There's so many different things that you can do. So I'm going to ask each one of you, because each one of you are going to have your own opinion. What is something that just even today, even with all the equipment that's available and what you do, what is it today that still you're in awe of?
Equipment wise, you mean?
No, just the business itself, or what you do, or what you're able to do. what's the one thing, or maybe two, that you're able to go, oh, this just doesn't get old, man. I just love this. No matter what kind of equipment, like
Yeah.
what you and Daniel brought in today, or whatever. There's gotta, there's gotta be that part. It's like I come in here every day because I just love radio and I like to provide information, and I just want to, be a service of the community, and bring in guests inside. I love that. So what about you?
For me, I mean, I love doing the residential homes and giving closure to these people in their homes. But my adrenaline rush is going into these historical abandoned locations and actually being able to capture memories from back in the 1800s, the early 1900s, and being in their time zone. It's just this huge adrenaline because people are like, don't you get scared? I'm like, no, I'm like putting myself in that time and just experiencing what they went through, whether it's an emotional attachment or something like that.
Daniel,
Ooh.
you think about that, Kim?
Right off the bat, I have to say, because I mean, I am still fairly kind of green in the field itself. And I never caught an EVP until within the last year because we had done a house in Griswold.
Right.
And that, oh my gosh, to actually be able to catch something like that, a clear voice on my recorder, I was in the car with my daughter going to Cracker Barrel one day and I start banging on the dashboard because I got something. I mean, it was very exciting,
It makes you hungry for more.
It absolutely does.
Yeah,
because
you're
you're
what
in
else can you
some way
get?
making that connection with something you wouldn't normally make a connection with. And I find that absolutely fascinating to be able to do that. But the other thing too, I have to agree with Christine, going into these historical places, I have a love for old abandoned buildings, houses, commercial, but the older, the better for me. And to be able to go in and to learn the history and then to actually catch something that corresponds with the history on top of it. I mean, it's just,
So it's
you
like a
can't get
twofer.
any better than
Oh
that.
yeah. They're like, when are we
Absolutely.
going back?
It becomes an addiction.
So I'm thinking you're the geek head with all of the equipment. So
Yeah, he's.
So that's why I wanted you to
We
go
actually
last.
call him the mad scientist because I sent pictures to the team yesterday
I took
because
over
I
the
can't
kitchen
even.
table.
Yeah, my whole kitchen has been because he's designing a new piece of equipment. So
He's
I
like a
can't.
dog with a bone.
Yeah, I can't use my kitchen at all.
There's points in time where I go to her
We
and
were
say, "Here,
hoping to
take this
bring it
card,
to show
'cause
it
I
to you
can't do it."
today.
What, your kitchen?
No, this
Oh.
piece of equipment that he's been working on.
It'd be a little big.
I think the cabinets will fit.
Yeah, right.
So I gotta say it's probably three things, like you were talking about the equipment wise. I like building and testing my own equipment. I like really kind of digging down deep. I'm really a person for just coming into a location, and believe it or not, as I build all this equipment, I like using a recorder out of everything. I'm just known for just grabbing a recorder and walking down a hallway, more so than grabbing any specialty equipment. I like building equipment. I like testing equipment. I like testing the theories of the new equipment. As you know, like when anything first comes out, they're going to have their bugs. They're going to have their caveats. Hey, how do you really use this opposed to how it's meant to be used? So stuff like that, equipment wise. I got to say, secondly, when it comes down to it, the locations. As you would imagine, some of the locations we go into, whether it's residential homes or whether it's commercial businesses, because people don't realize that some of these places we go into that are historic places are commercial businesses. People own these buildings and they do rent out the time for us to go into these locations for us to investigate. In the past, me and Christine have helped out many times at bed and breakfasts. A lot of the broadcasts that we've done were also for benefits. One of them was the James House up in, I'm gonna forget again, New Hampshire.
Yes.
Okay, I got it right this time. We do events like that so that we can keep these buildings, quote unquote, together, so that these buildings can be kept open for not only paranormal investigators but the public to experience. Because one, we get to see places like Eastern States Penitentiary. They let you in to places where even the public's not allowed in during the day. So to be able to keep these businesses open for people to experience not only what they can see during the day, but also experience it at night and be able to experience places that they wouldn't normally get to go to. That's kind of my high. I like being able to not only interact and teach people, but also to be able to have them experience new things. Third and finally, it's helping people.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, like I said, sometimes it's just not paranormal. Sometimes people just want to be understood, spoken to, and they just want to know that they're not alone.
We don't know what they're experiencing.
Exactly.
Right.
I say we like I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, what are you guys?
We don't go
You
in
get it
and
right.
say, hey, listen, it's your neighbors pulling in the middle of the night. Or we don't say, hey, listen, you're not experiencing this. This is just an hallucination.
Sure.
Or you're not experiencing this. It might be, you mentioned you were on medication. It might be the medication affecting your, visually or something like that. We go into a place and we try to think of the reasons for these outcomes. We try to test those. We don't just go into a place and sit there and hold a recorder for 6 hours at a time. We ask questions that could assist in bringing up possible reasons why their experiences. Kim checks out the history, and she brings that history fact into the location. Say, okay, there were deaths here. Why were there deaths? And that actually helps us judge how we're going to investigate those locations, and therefore help the people understand and give them a peace of mind. Long-winded,
Makes
but
sense.
there you go.
No. It makes a lot of sense, and I don't think I guess I wouldn't have looked at it that way. And I've seen, and not because you're not correct, because I don't understand it. That's why I'm learning more
Right.
and more every time you come back in. So it makes sense. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah. It's interesting to me.
And
of the
some
stuff-
people
just
are
some of the
literally
pictures are-
petrified. I mean, I get calls from families, and depending on the situation, they'll contact us, and we've left in the middle of the night to go to some of these families because they're standing outside their house with their kids in the middle of the night because they're petrified and they refuse to go back into the house until I tell them it's okay. Or they'll meet me at the end of the driveway and throw me the keys and be like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
And I don't want people
No
to feel
one-
unsafe in their home.
Yeah,
That's
no
their
one
home.
should feel like they can't live in their own place.
Especially children.
Yeah.
That's where, a lot of times where I'll end up putting my focus. If there's kids in the house, I will take the time. I will spend most of my time sitting down with that child, whether it be I'm an occupational therapy assistant, so that kind of helps me as well.
Sure.
And, working with peds, you learn how to work with kids to get them to where they're comfortable to be able to open up and be honest about what they're experiencing, because what an adult is experiencing is 9 times out of 10 going to be very different from what that child, who is typically more open to what they're experiencing too. So we take the time to really get down to the bones of it, and then we'll try to see, okay, what can we, what can we do to figure out what's going on?
I'm thinking the younger the child, the more open they are.
Absolutely.
Typically, yeah.
To them, it might just be normal.
Right.
You know?
Like imaginary friends. Not all friends are imaginary.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that. So, you guys gonna come back next month?
Sounds good to me.
Christine's going. No, I had enough. But,
We are
yeah.
going to do the we don't have the date booked yet, but we will we're in the works of doing a live actual investigation from the USS Salem
Oh.
in
Mhm.
Quincy, Mass.
Oh.
We've already investigated the battleship already, so that's when we said we
That
want
place is cool.
Yeah.
to go back.
So we're working out
Yeah.
the details. As you can imagine, it would be pretty hard to get Wi-Fi inside the ship.
No.
So we're gonna have to figure out the logistics in that. We've already talked with them, and they're very interested in us helping out and donating our time and getting a broadcast together to kind
Have
of
you been
build
there?
up.
Have you actually been there?
Oh my
Yes.
God,
Okay.
yes.
Does
I
your cell phone
was-
work there?
It works outside. The moment you get into that, I'm gonna just say,
Into
lack
the
of better things. The moment you get into that steel can, you get no service whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that's what's gonna end up happening is it's gonna be set up on the deck and pray that it don't rain.
Yeah. So I was saying if there was, even if your cell phone worked, that you could use a hotspot,
Exactly.
you
That's
know, and do that for
Right.
a while.
we've done that
So,
actually from the James house. We broadcasted for 8 hours straight off Wi-Fi. We had to run 100 feet worth of extension cord to get electricity.
I know.
Well, once we have everything set up and everything like that, we'll figure out the logistics and get you guys, see if we can get you guys in there with us.
I would love to go. See, I wouldn't be afraid. Say that
There's
now.
so much history too on that boat.
I
You can just go to visit and then just donate. I mean, because all donations go
Is this a
to
sub?
keeping that. No,
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 it's
it's
a
it's an
battleship.
actual
Oh, all right,
but it's
battleship.
never seen war. It's never been in war. It served as like a medical transport
Right.
for the most part.
But they
Yeah.
were wounded people and stuff from was it an earth? It was
was
an
an
It was
earthquake.
in
yeah.
Greece, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people have died on the boat.
Got it.
Place is amazing.
So next month, St. Patrick's Day. Ooh, what can we do? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Right around St. Patrick's Day, I'm assuming that you guys will be.
I was about to say
Good thing.
St. Patrick's Day. Are we all going to be sober enough to get up in the morning?
Nope.
It's going to make
Are
it
the
very
schools
interesting.
closed?
I don't-
Maybe.
I don't know about March.
I don't
No,
think, I don't
no, they don't
think
close for St. Patrick's Day.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think there's a
I'll have
holiday.
to
in
figure out my
March.
schedule, but I'm sure I can make myself free. I got a nice boss.
Oh well, no, I know where you work, so I know
Yeah.
where that question.
Yeah.
We could, well, we will figure it out
Okay.
where we make sure that you can. Kim, not so much. But I mean, she doesn't know anything. No, of course you're welcome back anytime. So
Might have to
Yeah.
stalk you.
I've never had a stalker.
You've never had a stalker?
No.
That's too bad.
She does do the history of the locations. You have no clue how far she can go.
I'm gonna call my girlfriend and we can go, hey, Melissa, guess what? What? I have a stalker. What's her name? Kim. Oh, cool. Wouldn't care. Wouldn't care. All right. One of our viewers, Linda, just said, I missed the beginning of the show. Where are you from? Right here. But no, actually, Linda, you'll be able to go back and view this program at any time by watching it on YouTube or right here on Facebook or Twitch or wherever you're watching it from. Looks like you're watching it via Facebook. So it'll be posted here. Eventually, they do get taken down off of Facebook because it just kind of clogs everything up. Then everything is up on YouTube. So go to the SNSN Radio YouTube page and click like and click the bell so you can get notifications. But don't worry, you can go up there and watch it at any time and watch this broadcast in its entirety. So, all right, next month we'll figure out a time.
Sounds good to me.
Good?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Christine, Daniel, and Kim,
Thank you so much.
Thank
my
you.
new stalker.
Thank you.
Let's see, Connecticut Paranormal Research Team. Why don't you go ahead and give us the website?
It is ConnecticutParanormal.com.
Connecticut, that's
That's
easy.
easy.
Peasy, yeah,
You can tell we've been around long. Who's got that type of web address?
exactly. ConnecticutParanormal.com. So once again, just like I told Linda here in the group, we love the interaction from you folks. We love the questions. We love the comments. That's what this is all about. It's about bringing the information to you. Our residents of Eastern Connecticut or wherever you happen to be in this fine world of ours. So we'll see you once again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Psychic Tuesday. What's the matter with you, Paul?
nothing.
You don't come in for Psychic Tuesday
Yeah.
either. You're a boring son of a. Come in.
I don't want to know anything.
He's gonna sit home and eat Lego, my Egos or whatever.
Yep.
Or the Cheerios with the heart shape now.
Oh yeah, you could do that. It's all right, Paul. He's got 17 cats. Legit. 13, 14.
Yeah, around there, 14, I think.
And they all get along?
No, not some of them fight.
They're all territorial, man. The cats are territorial. I mean, anyway, thanks for joining us today. We will see you once again. Tomorrow morning, right here on SNSN Internet Radio. Have a good day, everyone.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street, borough of Druid City.
Distributed Sports Network, SNSN.